Palestine and the oppressed in Palestine? Nothing. Close to nothing. If anything, they'll defend those who are transgressors. What does this mean for you and I? It means you have to become the type of person that becomes resourceful. You have to become the type of person who can elevate your own family, yourself at a greater level, the Shia community at an even greater level, and outside of that realm, the greater Muslim community. That's how this is going to work. Nobody else is going to sit back and be concerned for you and I, brothers and sisters. Let our youth hear this. Let our youth understand when you're at home, you're wasting time. I'm on social media, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It doesn't seem like much is happening, but you know what is happening? Every second that you waste, you're losing an opportunity in the future to uplift your community. If you see what happens in Gaza and it brings you pain in your heart, let that become your personal inspiration. Let that become your personal motivation. Why mediocre? Why should I aim low in life? Aim high. Aim high religiously. Aim high economically. Aim high in terms of your education. Aim high in terms of your habits. Become the best version of yourself that you can possibly become. Islam will need you. That moment is going to come, brothers and sisters, where Islam will turn to you. If you've already invested in yourself, wonderful, you're ready to go. If you haven't, then we'll have to sit back, and I've become a burden now on the community, burden on the greater Muslim community, and I have nothing to offer. This is scary. This is the lesson we learn from what's happening in Gaza. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala free our brothers and sisters. If you want to have some more inspiration, brothers and sisters, this property we're sitting in right now, this facility we're sitting in right now, let it serve as a little bit of inspiration for you. 4.5 years into the life of City of Knowledge, technically we're not supposed to be here. Technically, this is not supposed to happen. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a lot of hard work of volunteers, supporters, donors, everybody. Yes? They say raising a child takes a village. Building a community takes like 50 villages. Yes? Everybody, let this be a moment of inspiration for yourself. It's a moment of inspiration for the one who's lecturing today. We're not supposed to be here this fast. The only reason why we are is because there were individuals who worked hard to make it happen. And because of that, our community will reap the benefits for many years to come. Many years to come. Inshallah, later on I'll talk more about how this happened and how it all came together. That will leave, inshallah, for the future. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to move on to this point. There are many brothers and sisters who come up to me in the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, since we closed on the building and made the announcement. They come and they congratulate me. And I really appreciate their kindness and I really appreciate their compassion. Yes. But I want to make something very clear. This is for the legacy of City of Knowledge. Inshallah, City of Knowledge will be around long after you and I are gone. Long after you and I are gone, inshallah, our future generations will benefit from this facility. They will benefit from the vision. They'll benefit from this organization. That's the goal. Only Allah knows what will happen, but that's the goal, inshallah. Yes? They come and congratulate me. And I want this to be, I'm saying this in the khutbah of Eid, for it to be down and for the record. Yes? While I really appreciate it, yes? And if you want to continue congratulating me, thank you so much. I am not saying no to that, yes? Thank you. But this is not an achievement of this person or that person. This is achievement of the community. Everybody in our community has a part in this achievement. Everyone who supported City of Knowledge in whatever shape or form, this is your work. This is your achievement. Yes, I'm tasked with certain things in the community, but this is your achievement. So when you come up to me and you congratulate me, I always tell the brothers, I say thank you and congratulations to you too. Because you're part of this community and this is home for you just as much as it's home for Sheikh Mahdi. Just as much as it's home for our dear Sheikh Saadi. Just as much as it's home for everybody else. This is a achievement for our whole community. Okay. Now, what is this achievement? Is it the closing on the building? Is it hopefully, inshallah, in the future paying off the building? Brothers and sisters, the final goal behind all of this is not the facility. The facility is a means to something greater. You follow? The facility is a means to something greater. What's that greater thing? That greater thing is what you are seeing here every night. When iftar is brought out, young brothers and sisters, nobody asked them. Nobody said, hey, come and do this, come and do that. But they felt a sense of ownership. They felt a sense of, I have to contribute, I have to do my part. That's the end goal. This brotherhood that you feel amongst yourselves, that's the end goal. This sisterhood that you feel amongst yourselves, that's the end goal. The end goal is when you have a 12-year-old going around giving out water, eating iftar later than everybody else, but he feels like this is part of my contribution. That's golden. That's unmatched in terms of its value. And that is, brothers and sisters, the goal behind all of this. Yes, the facility facilitates that, and that's why it's so critical. That's why it's so important. But that's not the final goal. The final goal is this happiness, brothers and sisters, that you see in your faces today. And amongst those things, and I'm saying it today because it's our first Eid lecture, yes? I'm saying today so that it can stay in the history of City of Knowledge, brothers and sisters. One of the most important things for us is the end goal is we want everybody who walks through these doors to feel like they're coming home. That's the end goal. I want everyone to feel welcome. I want everyone to come and say, you know what, when I come here, I feel like it's home. Yes, we have rules and regulations. Yes. Yes, we have to move your Toyota Corolla and Honda and all of this stuff we have to move. Everywhere has to have rules and regulations, even our own homes. Yes? But we want you to feel welcome. Let it be known. Every single time Ramadan comes around, every single time Muharram comes around, I'm like a broken record at this point. I go to our volunteers. I say, number one, most important than anything else, most important than how fast we get the food out for all of the people who are doing iftar, most important than getting the audio video right, most important than all is kindness. Are you bringing a smile to those who trust you with their time? And then imagine if you build a culture like this, brothers and sisters, a culture where the volunteer doesn't have a sense of entitlement. He's come to serve. And the attendee also doesn't have a sense of entitlement. He understands this volunteer is going out of his way, out of her way to serve. That's a mini heaven. That's somewhat like a heaven on earth. If you have that culture, that's the end goal. So everybody who walks into these doors feels welcome, feels comfortable. That's worth so much for me, yes? You know, in our communities, typically you have different types of police. I don't know if you've heard this, yes? There's haram police, there's all these different types of police. We need to have, inshallah, kindness police. You know what they do? They go around, they smile to everyone. Make sure everyone has a smile on their face. Make sure everyone is enjoying themselves. Make sure everyone feels at home, feels comfortable. This is the most valuable thing. This is what makes a community, yes? Now, based on this, brothers and sisters, what it takes is for everybody to do their part. I want to transition, inshallah, to the fundraising update. So in the 24 hours, on the night of the 23rd, when we had the ability to make the announcements, for brothers and sisters to put in their pledges, and then for there to be a match as well. And I was personally very humbled by this, and I'm only sharing it because so many community members asked for an update. That's why I'm taking your time. In that time, from roughly 85 different families, we had a total number of pledges of $271,000. Loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Yes, I think that requires 2 more salawats. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. A third salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. This is what happens when everybody comes together. So inshallah, if we can go to the next slide, if you put that together with the match of the donor, that puts you at a total. These are, of course, pledges. Yes, this is not collected. So inshallah, we have to fulfill our pledges, inshallah. But that puts us at a total of $406,000, yes, of pledges. This is in a 24-hour period. Yes, this is amazing. This is what happens when people take everything that they have and they do their parts. And I'm going to talk about the donations that came through. Some of them are very inspiring for myself. Yes? So this is a pledges that we had in the 24. Now before the 23rd, there were some pledges. Afterwards, there were some pledges too. That's not including those. This is just the 24 hours or the night of the 23rd. If we can move on to the next slide, just so we can put everything into perspective. If you add the 1.3 that was raised for closing, plus these pledges, that puts you at roughly 1.7 million paid off from the $3 million, from the $3 million cost of the building. Still a long way to go, but this is amazing. And you know what's most amazing of all? The fact that it came from so many different families. The fact that 80 different families went home that night, they said, I have to do my part. That's what makes this special. It's everyone doing their little part. The numbers were very different. Someone comes to this number, someone does this number, someone does this number. But everyone doing their part can do really, really special things, yes? So now I'll share just a couple stories very quickly. We had a donor pulled me aside, yes? Sheikh, I want to donate. I said, sure. I said, go ahead and fill out this Google form. I said, no, Sheikh, I don't want to fill out a Google form. Why? I don't want anybody to know. I want it to just be anonymous. I said, well, the accountant has to know because that's a legal thing. He said, okay, no problem. But you and the accountant, that's it. These are special. This is very special. This is what comes out of this facility, brothers and sisters. The facility is a step, a means to something like this. This one, brothers and sisters, we had a donation from a very, very young sister. She donated from the money that she makes working outside of school. She's not in college yet. Still in school. But on the side, she does work, probably minimum wage, naturally, yes? She donated $28. This $28 is so valuable. It is so special. Why? Because she feels like this is her home. She feels like, I want to do my part. This is amazing. This is very inspiring. Yes? We had another donor who came forward. Yes? They said, you know what? We haven't felt comfortable. They were in a different city. They said, we haven't felt comfortable with masjids and coming to masjids for a very long time. But City of Knowledge felt like home. So we want to sponsor this musalla and this musalla and this musalla. This is the end goal. It's making this feel like home for all of you. We had another donor who came forward. They said, I'm traveling. I probably won't come back to this masjid ever again. We never know. But I was here for the Nights of Qadr and I saw how you guys conducted it. And I want City of Knowledge to grow. And I want City of Knowledge to succeed. Here is my check. I'll probably never step foot in this masjid again just because I don't know when I'm going to come back to Dallas again. But I want to make sure I contribute, and I contribute tonight. Yes, these are very special. I'll do one more of the donors, and then inshallah we can recite a salawat for all of them in just a second. This donor came forward and said, Sheikh, I'm not religious. I'm not that religious. So we're working on that part for now, inshallah. But he said, I'm not religious. But City of Knowledge feels like home to me. So I wanted to grow and I wanted to succeed. This is my donation. Varying amounts, yes? This sister did $28. But you know what's important is everybody contributing. Everybody doing their part, inshallah. This is what makes this project, inshallah, special and blessed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For all of these donors and yourselves, a loud salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. This is what happens when we come together, brothers and sisters. Couple more points and I'll wrap up, inshallah. This property we're sitting in today came through a very important collaboration between different organizations. They are different. They have separate boards. They have separate decision-making processes, separate. But they collaborated. I ask you, when you go out in our communities, in general, typically, do you see organizations coming together to collaborate? Or typically, do we see organizations each going their own way? To their own thing. Typically, unfortunately, we see the latter. This property, brothers and sisters, is golden, not just because of the attendees of City of Knowledge, but because of a very important collaboration. Organizations coming together is a very big deal. That's why you can achieve great things when organizations come together. So that is first and foremost. And of course, these numbers that I shared, this is all with regards to the City of Knowledge portion of the building. Inshallah, the school has its own fundraising, and inshallah, they will speak about the fundraising, and inshallah, we'll support them at that time as well. So this is all with regards to the City of Knowledge side. The school side still has its own fundraising and everything that inshallah, they will kickstart, and they did last night as well. And inshallah, when the time comes, we can support the school as well. The loan on the building, brothers and sisters, we've made a promise to the donor to pay him back in 3 years. I want our organization to be the type of organization that keeps its promises. I want our donor to feel like, you know what? They did everything in their power to make this happen, inshallah. Yes? So inshallah, help us. We don't want to become an Islamic organization that doesn't keep their promises. Now I'll go into a little bit more detail. When we were trying to close on the building, because of course the cash flow and everything with regards to a loan from a bank was not even feasible for us. So this donor, alhamdulillah, came and in many ways made this feasible. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless their family, but help us inshallah to keep that promise, inshallah. For those who are going to be pledging, we can go to the last slide, inshallah. For those who are going to be pledging, you can do this QR code. Just really important, there's a Google form. If you don't want to do one of these set amounts and you want to do a custom amount, just go down to the end of the page, click on pay now, and you can do any custom amount that is feasible for all of you. Last 2 pieces of news is this, brothers and sisters. Inshallah, if we have 5 more days before we finalize our trip, the ziyarah trip for Iraq, that's happening on May 27th. That is also a collaboration with Dallas Youth Group. So if you haven't signed up and you want to sign up, these are the last 5 days, yes? You can sign up at dallasyouth.org/ARC, yes? The name of the group was called Ark of Salvation. Last piece of news, and this one is very special. It's special for me personally because I've never been here before. And inshallah, it'll be special for our community because I think at least for City of Knowledge, it'll be the first time that we're doing this. And that is the dates for the trip, for our first ever Umrah trip, have been set, inshallah, for January 2025. So January 4th to January 12th, 2025, inshallah, the Umrah trip will be happening. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. Once the registration goes live, please sign up because I know that that is going to be filled up. So don't message me later and say, hey, we need to get in. I really can't guarantee anything with that one because we have other people from other communities who will also be joining us as well. But amazing news for our community, amazing news for Dallas Youth Group that's opening up a new chapter now. They had the ziyarah trips. Now, inshallah, they'll be kickstarting the Umrah trips as well. With that, inshallah, I'll bring today's talk to an end. Please do make sure you put in your pledge today. That will be a big help. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. اللهم صل على محمد. Inshallah, we'll do a quick ziyarah. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا حبيب الله. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين. السلام على 9 المعصومين من ذرية الحسين. السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن. السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته.
बाड़ बैलो
Quick question.